problem, they are giving us the algebraic equation. So we are going to have to use this algebraic equation to try to solve for the verbal description. So this one says a cell phone company charges 10 cents for each text minus $50 for the month. Well, we know that there's an addition sign here, and this word minus, it does not fit in, so we know that A is not the answer. This next one says a cell phone company charges 10 cents plus $50 each week. $50 each week would be written as 50x, and we don't have the 50x down there, so we know B is not the correct answer either. So C is the correct answer because it says that we have a flat rate fee of $50. Then we see the word plus, 10 cents for every text, which is exactly what we want. So this is the equation, this is our situation. Now over here, just like we did on the last one, we're going to use this equation to fill in our table. So what we're going to have is we are going to plug in, right here we are going to write that, that equation. And I like to get rid of that 0 because it's not really necessary. So the way I would write it is 0.1x plus 50. And now what we're going to do is we are going to plug these numbers in for x because the number of texts is our x and the charges would be our y. So looking at this, I am going to write 0.1 times, and I'm going to say 0. And then I would say plus 50. And anything times 0 would be 0, plus 50 would give me 50. So this means that even if I don't send any text messages, I still owe $50. And we're going to do 0.1 times the next number, which would be 50. And then we are going to add 50. Now if you don't know what 50 times 0.1 is, off to the side you can do that. 50 times 0.1, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, and I'm going to move my decimal over 1 time. So this is like saying 5 plus 50, which would give me 55. So I'm going to move on now. I'm going to say 0.1 times my next x, which means I'm going to be plugging in 100. And then I will be adding the 50 in. And if I'm moving too fast or you want to do this on your own and check, push pause or fast forward. So I don't know what 100 times 0.1 is, and eventually you will. It's just moving the decimal over 1 time every. Whenever you see a decimal, you just know that you're going to be moving it over that many times. So I'm going to get 10. This is saying 10 plus 50 gives me 60. And if you look, most people picked up on a pattern. The next number would be 65. And the number after that would be 70. And we can still check our work by plugging in all of these numbers. 0.1 times 150 would be $15. Plus that $50 initially that we have to pay would in fact give me 65. And I'm going to do 0.1 times 200 text messages. And if I sent 200 text messages, that means I am going to have to spend $70. Now that's not how it is nowadays, but back when I guess I was in middle school, I had to pay for text messages, and that's about how much we had to do. So now that we have our table off to the side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write our points that we're going to be graphing. So if my x was 0, my y is 50. Then I have 50, 55, and all I'm doing is rewriting my x and y just so that I have coordinates. So then I have 160, and that's coming from the x and the y over here. And this is going to be 150 and 65, and then we are going to have 270. So now down here I need to label my chart. So number of texts I'm going to label as 0, and I'm going to go by 50. And I'm going to skip a space in between every. So this is going to be 100. This would be, okay, wait, this one goes here. So this would be 150, and this would be 200. Now off to the side over here, this is going to be the charge. So that's going to be the money amount. And I'm going to go by tens. So I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and we'll stop at 90 because we don't need to go that far. So now looking at this, if I send 0 text messages, I know I'm still going to have to pay $50. Now, if I send 50 text messages, I'm going to have to spend 55, which is right in between the 50 and the 60, so I'm going to put a point right there. If I send 100 text messages, I know I'm going to have to spend $60. If I send 150 text messages, I'm going to spend $65, which is in between the 60 and 70. And if I send 200 text messages, I'm going to spend $70. And when I connect these lines, they create a linear line, which is exactly what I wanted. And if I use this, I could predict what 250 or 300 or 1,000 text messages would be worth.